Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're creating LUT files. Let's get straight into it. If you don't know what a LUT file is, LUT stands for lookup table. A LUT is a tool that lets filmmakers, editors and colorists save particular color grades as a template. Think of a LUT as a color preset that a filmmaker can readily turn to when working on a project. So basically you can load this file and it'll apply the same color preset that you've got for all your other videos, all your other pictures and designs. It's just an easier way of making sure that everything looks similar and consistent. So now let's get on to making a LUT file. We're going to add a couple of adjustment layers to this image to make it look a little bit different. So let's go on ahead and add a curves layer. Let's drag the shadows up, and then we're going to set this to luminosity. We're then going to add another curves layer. We're going to go to the red channel and we're going to bring it down slightly, and the blues we're going to bring up just to give it a bit of a cooler effect, because obviously Manchester City are blue. Then we're going to go to vibrance. Let's crank the vibrance up and bring the saturation down slightly. I'm actually going to move this down so that it doesn't affect our curves layers. And then let's just have a little play around with the neutrals on selective color. I'm gonna add a little bit of magenta and a bit of cyan, like that. And we're going to come back to the luminosity curves layer and we're just going to bring the shadows up a bit just to brighten it. Like that. And then I'm going to go into color balance and just going to alter the blue slightly and the cyan. And I'm going to reduce this down slightly, fill to 50%. And then we'll add, what should we add next? Let's increase the contrast. So now we've got all these color adjustments here. So now we want to put this into a cube file so that we can load it for other images. So we go to File, Export, Color Lookup Tables, and then we're going to save it in the same folder. We're just going to call it Test. This will save it as test.cube. So let's open a different image. So now you go to your adjustments, color lookup, load 3D LUT, and now it's bringing in all our color lookups from this file. When saving your color lookup file itself, you want to make sure that you've got a background layer and you're not editing within a Photoshop file. Sometimes it doesn't save it very well, and sometimes it will tell you that there is no background layer. So always make sure that you've got a background layer. I tend to do all my LUT files in an image itself, and then to use them in other things like my Photoshop files and my designs and things like that. So that's how you create a LUT file. You can apply it then to any image that you're using across your socials, especially if you're obviously a social media manager and you want to make sure that all your files, images are looking the same. So we'll just load it on this one as well. It's just so that it looks consistent. One thing I did notice is that if you wanted to do like a gradient, like this for instance, and then you try saving this as a new color lookup, call this one test 2. For some reason the gradient doesn't seem to load into the file for some reason, even though it's part of obviously the adjustments tab. I feel like especially these three at the top, they won't get loaded into the color lookup file at all. So make sure you stick to just the generic ones. I think gradient map does, so we'll try a gradient map on this one for now, just to try it. Color lookup, we'll call this one test 3. And we'll change this one so it loads test 3. Yeah, so your gradient maps will work, but not your generic gradient, pattern and textures. So that's it for this video. I hope this is useful to someone and you can use it in your future workflow. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.